Welcome to the Truth Be Told podcast, and I have two very special guests with me today. I have Rob Davis, good buddy of mine, and the one and only Ivana K. Williams, all the way from Mississippi.
Welcome to Oklahoma.
Well,
welcome to Oklahoma. I want to give a special shout out to my grandmother. Today would have been her 86th birthday. I miss you. I love you. I appreciate everything you've done for me throughout my life. And dude wipes. Get these. Grab one and wipe, dude.
I like that shout out.
That was good.
I figured you would say it later on, but
Nah, I'm gonna get it out the way.
But hey, I want to give a shout out to Howard Harris Funeral Services. Guys, if you're ever in the state of Oklahoma City, Lawton area, you may need someone to care for your loved ones, contact Howard Harris Funeral Services, Jolanda Harris and Audrey.
Best people
Howard
on the planet.
Harris. They'll take great care of you.
They've been taking care of us for like 30 years.
They've been taking care of me for a long time, too.
Good people.
So if you ever need them, reach out to them.
well, I did not have anything planned for any type of shout out or anything. But, I guess what better way to promote something than to promote your own business,
There you
especially
go.
when it comes to podcasts.
Why not?
So, I do yard work. And so if anybody back home needs any type of lawn service, then I have a company called Madam's Mowing, and I actually am the one. Me and my sons are out there doing the yard work. So if you this spring, this summer, if you need anything, then give me a holler, send me a message, whatever you need, I'll get it done. So I have a question for you guys. We're just
boy.
going to jump right in and say
this
it,
is gonna
okay?
be
All right.
Why are we here today? Why did you decide to do a podcast? Why did you join? Go ahead and let me have it.
Me and him came from the same department, police department we worked at, and I mean there was some iffy stuff going on, and it just kind of got worse and worse.
Like, what department? Can I ask?
Elmore City, Oklahoma.
Elmore?
To be specific, yes.
Okay, and how big is this city?
About, there's probably about 700, 800 people there.
Okay. How many officers?
Now or then?
Any,
Two right now.
There's two?
Two.
Yeah, back when I was there, probably 4, 5.
Yeah, it was four of us when we was.
Okay, yeah, so
Yeah.
4 back when I was there. I mean, it's not a pretty big department.
That's not big.
Okay. So
That's not
what
big.
did you do there? What was your role?
So my role was deputy chief back when I was there.
Okay. When and how long ago was that?
So I was excused in August 21st of 2025.
Okay. Now, can I be blunt here?
Sure.
What? That was a very professional way.
Yeah, I was like,
of saying.
Jesus, I was like, was that when they put him in?
So
and
does
they let
that
him
mean
go?
you were fired? Excused.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you were excused in August.
Yep.
And what was the reason, if you don't mind me asking?
So the reason that I was given by the chief was failure to follow policy and procedure.
Okay. And what was the policy procedure?
He stated that because I filed a complaint on him, I had some complaints, and he stated that I should have come to him with those complaints instead of going to the mayor or to whoever is over the police department. But that's not how it works. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a complaint about somebody, you don't go to them
Right.
with their complaints. So,
So
You would think.
he fires you because you went and complained on him to somebody else
yeah,
above him. Okay.
right.
All right. And so what did you do are you still there?
No, I got fired.
Okay. Okay.
I got fired.
makes
Still
three
to
of
this
us.
day, I don't on record don't know
I told
why
him
I
it was
got-
coming, though.
Oh yeah, he told me it was
I
coming.
told
When
him
he
it was
got
coming.
fired, he was like, "Bro, you got about a week. You don't need a commission card." And I was like,
Yeah.
"What?"
I told him it was coming.
All
I was
right,
like,
so-
"Dang." So all right, whatever.
Tell me your history in law enforcement.
Started at Elmore City. Well, I've been around it for a long time. I was on the Duncan Police Department ride-along program for like 6 years, and I wanted to do it, but I was just too immature at that time. So me and Rob I got on doing that TikTok challenge where the police be chasing people.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't catch me.
But he thought I was slow. That's the thing.
I didn't think he was slow. Trevor and them thought you
They
was slow.
They didn't think that this
I was
big
just
guy
gonna
could
run. I know what I can do. I don't care what nobody else can do. I know
So
what I
you
can
didn't
do.
catch him.
No.
I didn't catch him, but if I was going to tase him, I could have tased him.
Oh, yeah.
I would have been
you got
zigzagging.
15
I would have made it hard for him. He gonna earn this check that day. I'd have hit that fence too because I could have hit that fence.
He wouldn't have made it.
Oh, I would have made it.
So now, why did you leave, or why did you get fired?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Man, I'm gonna tell you. I went to work that morning, and doing my normal traffic routine, and he was like, "Hey, can you come to the PD? I was like, yeah. I came in there. We sat in there for like an hour. I finished up some reports that I
Now,
hadn't
who told
finished.
you to come to the PD?
Trevor, my Trevor Fitch, my chief, ex-chief.
Is he a chief there now?
No, hell no.
Okay.
He gone.
All right. So go ahead with your story.
So he called me in there, and me and Gary was sitting in there for like an hour. And then he came, he brought us in the room in his office and closed the door and was like, hey, unfortunately, Stephen, we're getting rid of the reserve program effective immediately. Okay, I'm cool with that. I've been fired before. No
Yeah.
big deal. I called Rob. I said, hey, man, I need a commission. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, I need a commission. I just got fired. He said, what? I was like, yeah. He said, what'd you get fired for? I was like, they getting rid of the reserve program. He's like, no, you need to look into that.
Now, what does a commission mean? What is that?
That's your card that certifies you as a police officer.
Okay.
Commission card.
It doesn't certify you as a police
Well,
officer.
it
It's on
shows
that
that you,
department.
yeah, it
At
shows that you work for that
department.
department. So he's like, yeah, you need to look into that. So he gave me this number to call, and I called this lady. Her name is Rhonda, and I was like, hey, this is Steven. I just got fired. She's like, oh yeah, you the guy I met at the gas station. You got fired? I was like, yeah. I said, she said, why? I was like, Trevor said they was getting rid of the reserve program. She was like, no, we're not. We just talked about that 2 days ago. We need more reserves because there's no coverage on the weekend. Mm-hmm. So I got mad because I knew then at that point I knew he lied to me.
I called bull from the very beginning.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Now,
So
why do you
she's like,
think-
I'm gonna call the mayor, and because we obviously have a problem. I was like, all right, she gonna help me. So I'm just gonna be real.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. She's like, don't say my name or nothing, blah blah blah, because I don't want to get fired or whatever. Okay, if you gonna help me, then I'll do that for you.
Yeah.
But you ain't help me.
Yeah.
You kind of tried to, but you ain't help me because like 3 days later she texted me and was like, you got to file a complaint with the chief of the department. I can't say nothing else. Okay. All right. Now I'm mad.
Yeah.
Mad because I got lied to, not because I got fired. I don't care about getting
Right.
fired. But don't fabricate nothing and make up no bullshit story about why you fired me. Just be a man and fire me, bro. Say I don't like you.
Yeah. So why do you think he didn't like you? Why do you think he ultimately actually fired you?
It was a threat to him.
What do you mean?
Well, my social media, I get a lot of reach. And whatever he was doing behind closed doors, he didn't want it to be seen. I'm just going to call it like it is. Because I got evidence of what he'd been doing behind closed doors.
Are you going to tell us this?
Am I going to tell you? Hell
Yeah,
I'll tell
okay.
you. So there's a video of him and his buddies riding in the patrol car, drinking, playing Bad Boys.
And you
That's a
have
no-no.
you have a video.
Might or might not. There's also a video
Yeah.
of him pointing a gun at a drone in uniform that's regulated by the FAA. Now,
Okay.
what happens if you do that?
I mean, it's probably pretty bad circumstances.
Yeah, so he better keep cool, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay. So he's let go. He's not there anymore.
No, he quit.
Oh, he quit.
Put a lot of pressure on there.
Okay.
At least that's the story that he received.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that's
We
the
don't
story
know.
that he resigned, but he got word that all these videos was out there, and because I heard him on phone calls, he picks up the phone, and that's his biggest flaw. He
Okay.
picks up the phone and talks.
Okay.
So
he's no longer there.
No.
And this is like a big controversy topic in your town. Is that right?
In
their
their
town.
town,
We don't
yeah.
live
Because
in
now,
their town.
this town is pretty much chiefless. He left 2 fresh officers out of Cleat with that whole department.
Okay. So what is CLEAT?
Cleat is the Council of Law Enforcement Education and Training.
Okay, the only reason I ask that is because sometimes the people that might be listening, they
Right.
might not know what that means. So that's why.
You got to be Cleat certified to be an
Yeah.
officer.
So the people that are there right now, they've been out of the academy maybe. I think they graduated a month or two apart. I mean,
Gary got out in November, and
so
what
they
you
have
call it?
absolutely no
No
law
experience,
enforcement
yeah.
background. Like
No.
when they came, they had no law enforcement background.
And he just left them.
They
So who's there now? Is there like an
it's
interim?
it's just the interim.
Gary
chief.
is the interim, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
he don't have no really experience, and I don't even know if he know that 95% of the police reports in that department have not been validated by OSBI or on Otis.
Okay. So again, explain what that is.
So when you write a police report, it has to be validated in the system. Like if I mess something up, if I'm writing a report and I go to enter it, it'll either tell me I'm good or it's going to red flag and it say it hadn't been validated. So 95% of the reports, and I think they date all the way back to like 2005, 2006, have not been validated.
Okay.
And Trevor was telling me before he left, man, OSBI, they on my ass because I ain't getting these reports validated and blah, 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 They might shut this thing down, which that ain't my problem. You the chief.
So you hit enter basically after you have done the
Mine
report.
are good.
Okay, but a site.
Otis is
Otis.
Otis. You're not familiar with Otis?
So no, not we didn't
Offender
have-
database information system.
Yeah, we don't have that. I mean, we have different things that collaborate, different law
Right.
enforcement agencies, fusion centers, stuff like that. But we don't have something that.
Otis is
We
basically
do
you go
our
up there and look
report.
up somebody's life history.
Yeah, so it's a law enforcement database. It's where we go in and we file our reports. Any department that uses Otis can look up the database.
If somebody's
of
been
offenders.
arrested,
If they're labeled armed and dangerous, if they're labeled for a gang member. So when we go and enter our tickets, for example, or we enter a report and we put that person's name in, if we don't have all of their information as far as driver's license information, home address, a neighboring department may have entered all that information. So when we put their name in and click enter, it'll pull up that this department has contact with them and have this. Let's move them to our database
Right.
because we don't
Right.
have this information. So we can see prior interactions with other departments, what they've been arrested for, what they've been pulled over and cited for. If they've had 6 tickets for the same thing, if we want to give them a warning, we're like, you've already been cited for that, so you're known for doing this.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and whenever you do a report in the system, it has to be validated. So if we put in, assault and battery, well, they may say, well, that's not the right, state statute for that, for that offense that you're putting in, so they won't validate it. So you can skip it still, but OSBI is going to say, they're going to send it back and say, hey, that's wrong. You need to go and fix this. And
Right.
then it's up to the chief or whatever supervisor is over that to go back and say, hey, guys, I'm not approving this report. You need to go back and fix it. Because if not, they're going to send a long letter saying, hey, you need to fix this.
Right. See, that's pretty amazing to me. And I know there's different software systems and stuff in all different states, and we have different programs. But there's an issue whenever Oklahoma can't talk to Mississippi, and Mississippi can't talk to Alabama, and so
Yeah.
forth. It doesn't help law enforcement agencies try to track down the bad guy,
Right.
And just like you said, you can see if somebody that you arrested or you've dealt with, they've been stopped multiple times at suspected burglary places,
Sure.
Right.
and never been arrested. Well, there's a pattern there, They might have not committed the crime, but there's something there. Why are they always stopped at somewhere that just got a phone call about a possible, intruder, and they're always there,
Right.
in multiple states, multiple counties, whatever, municipalities, whatever it is. And I think that's something that needs to be addressed throughout the United States is we need more talk. We all, as law enforcement agencies, state, federal, local, all need to be able to communicate in order to actually track down the quote unquote bad guys in order to protect the citizens of our county
I
or
agree.
our state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's an issue. Like that's why I'm asking you, what does that mean? We might have something, in Mississippi like that, but it's not called that. It's not the same thing.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I've been both local law enforcement, I've been a police officer, and then I became a state trooper. And the narratives that we have to write as a police officer versus a state trooper is completely different. I remember I had to write like a page and a half, and not everybody did it, but I still wrote that much for, say, a DUI investigation, right? Becoming a trooper, they were happy with me if I wrote a paragraph. They're like, wow, you write so much more than anybody else.
Dang.
I'm like, it's like 2 paragraphs,
Right.
which I really did write a lot. They probably got tired of reading my reports. But I wanted to put as much information in it as possible.
Sure.
Of course, because they always tell you might go to court 2 or 3 years down the road. You want to be able to remember, so put as much.
Articulation is everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So, all right, we got why you guys are here. And I guess I'll go ahead and explain why I'm here or decided to do a podcast. So some may know, some may not know, but I used to be a state trooper in Mississippi. And I was there for 6 years. And 2 years ago, I got fired. And it was all politics. It was ego. And it was ego that got me out. And it's ego that still won't let me return. So I was all over the news. I even got on the Russian Times.
In Russia?
Yep, I had a whole bunch of people from
You're
Russia.
pretty popular.
Yeah, I know.
You
It
are
was
famous.
It was a crazy experience. It was
Because I seen it
roller
on
coaster.
TikTok.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, I don't.
I was friends with you before any of that
Yeah,
happened.
I'm
I just
like, I
thought
don't
you was a
care
regular
about-
state trooper, and I was
I
like,
don't
friend
care about these
request, boom.
people. Like,
Well-
I don't care about this drama. So I just keep scrolling.
Yeah.
You know, so like I'm not into drama like that. So I never hear people's stories.
Yeah.
You know, but I hear people saying, well, let me tell you about this state trooper. I'm just like, nope, keep scrolling.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he's like, hey, somebody wants to meet you. I'm like, who wants to meet me from Mississippi? She used to be a trooper. Then I'm like, this
Yeah,
is
buddy.
that girl.
That girl, yeah.
Well, it's it like I said, it's definitely been an experience, and I knew at the very beginning I was going to have to change people's perspective of me because majority of people do not like law enforcement.
No.
You know, I was in this bubble as a state trooper thinking people respected, law enforcement and Mississippi wasn't bad. And
No.
and then I started talking on social media after everything had happened. I had been fired. And I was really just, the initial reason I got on is because I figured that was the easiest way to find a job, right?
Yeah.
And no, that didn't happen.
No.
The people were like, oh, they'd call me racist, and they would say that I
Because
was
you're Mississippi.
a bigot, and that all I do is hurt people. And I'm like, I'm the nicest person you will ever meet,
Yeah.
but especially as a trooper,
Yeah.
I would let people go more than I would give them a ticket. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe they wanted
Yeah.
me to be the typical red leg. A red leg is what they nickname for troopers in Mississippi. But I know whenever I first started, like I said, everybody hated, despised me. And then now it's been 2 years later, and people still talk about, well, why were you let go? You never explain it. No, I did explain it. I explained it for 6 months or more.
Yeah.
And that time is over. If
Yeah.
you haven't been following along, then it's no longer about me. It's
Oh, yeah.
about where I'm at today and what I'm doing today and how I'm trying to expose corruption.
Right.
And we're going to talk about the people who need to be talked about.
Oh, yeah.
I've had
yeah.
my time, and I've, what is the saying? Laugh at yourself before others can laugh at you, type thing. So that's kind of what I did. I had somebody who was like, why don't you go ahead and say you're a fired state trooper? And so I started doing that. I actually, every time I would do a TikTok, I was like, as a fired state trooper, and I did it despite this person,
Right.
And it actually helped me with social media because it was the title
Yeah.
and it got people's attention. And whenever that happened, it just kept on growing. And then eventually, though, it got to a point where, you know what? It's no longer about me. It's about the people who have done wrong, and we're
Right.
going to start exposing them. So,
wasn't like Stale Cracker like a Mississippi State
yeah,
trooper?
well,
or
no, he
something?
was Louisiana.
Okay, Louisiana.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I was close.
I actually talked to him. He was in Mississippi at some type of like extravaganza event, wildlife
Okay.
extravaganza.
Yeah.
And I went over there and talked to him. I was like, hey, I'm a fired state trooper in Mississippi. And he talked to me for a little bit. He was saying, hey, just keep on going.
The
Because
fired state
that is ultimately what they're trying to get you to quit.
Right.
They have more resources and time and money than you do, and they're expecting you to run out of steam,
Yeah.
run out of money, and that's probably 90% of what people do. And
That's
so, originally it was about first me trying to get a job,
Yeah.
and then it was trying to show that, hey, I did not do what I was being accused of doing, and I've proved it with each court. I've had court. This woman who accused me of all this heinous stuff, she took me to court, civil court. I won both cases. The department ended up offering to settle with me last December, and it did not include my job. So I said kick rocks, basically.
Yeah.
And I've been trying this past year to just basically expose the corruption that's going on in the Highway Patrol, Mississippi Highway Patrol, which I cannot believe what is going on. So, for instance,
They love us when we tell on each other.
oh yeah, well,
Oh, them cops snitching.
yeah. I mean, and like I said, that 2-year transition. It's now people are like on my side. They're like, and some of the people are like, I don't even know what you did, but you should be reinstated. I'm like, well, I don't want that. I want you to be able to tell me that.
Right.
I really want you reinstated because I think you'll do a good job, and you did a good job, and you shouldn't have ever been fired.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny that they say that. But it's crazy because this trooper that was fired back in February of last year.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
charged with sexual battery, was arrested ankle monitor put on.
Damn.
And then they put him on paid admin leave. Put him on paid admin leave. And then a month or so goes by, and I've done a video on this one, but a month or so goes by, and he ends up being involved in a hit and run, and he left the scene of an accident. Of course, all this is alleged, even though I've spoken to the officer that conducted the investigation on the hit and run. And, but, of course, to cover myself, I'm always going to say alleged. But, so they still kept him on, and she turned him in and all of this, and they still kept him on for another month or so on paid admin leave. And then they finally let him go. All right. So 6 months down the road, he all of a sudden is rehired. This guy.
Crazy work.
Who obviously they had to fire him for policy violation of some sort, right? Because they can't fire you just based on allegations.
Right.
So he must have violated policy in some form or fashion, and they rehire him. And they have fired me for allegations. I've never been charged with any type of criminal, within crime. I have won all civil lawsuits, and the department offered to settle with me, right? So why would they rehire this guy?
Because he kept his mouth shut and didn't say nothing and walked on like a good little dog.
Yep. That's exactly what I think it is.
Same thing with Elmore. Like, they ain't used to people saying nothing about them. They used to just firing people, and they going on out there going, I'm not the one.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell all y'all business.
Yeah.
All of it. I got a message from this lady that live in Elmore.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's going to set some people on fire when I read it in a minute.
Well, go ahead and read it.
I ain't going to say her name.
I'm interested in hearing what it has to say to you.
Good evening, Stephen. This is Jane Doe. I ain't going to tell you what street she live on. Due to direct face-to-face threats that Trevor has made to me, I've been staying in eastern Oklahoma, where I also have a home next to my daughter out in the beautiful hills of Tishoma. I guess that's how you say that?
Tishomingo.
No, that's not Tishomingo.
Tishomingo is Mississippi.
Tuskahoma. Okay.
Since mid-November, I had a friend call me today and told me that Trevor had been fired. And it's no longer the chief. Is this true? I don't know if he got fired, but his ass ain't there no more. I don't have to tell you that Trevor's a psychotic time bomb waiting to explode. I have a feeling it won't be only my house that may follow through and burn to the ground. He said directly to my face that he just might burn mine down with me in it. Anyway, I've been safe, and my level of stress has decreased remarkably with me being here. We have cameras on the outside of my house in Elmore, and a house sitter that stays in it part-time for now. I'm not sure if I'll ever feel safe enough to return to Elmore to live, a place where I was raised as a child. I moved away and obtained my degrees in my profession and followed my professional career. Now, Trevor has said that this lady was batshit crazy.
Yeah.
He tried to convince us that she was. I didn't see it. I came back just a few years ago to get my little house I had put in for my mom years ago in good enough condition to sell while enjoying, beginning years of my retirement and deciding where I wanted to retire permanently. I hope that your podcast will shed some light on how corrupt the city of Elmore is ran. Overall, with the governmental realms of the city, the number one thing is for anyone holding a position who can steal the most money and that city brings by any means they can get it. They fight politically amongst each other more so than doing anything else. It's been that way for at least 20 years that I know of. Thank you for standing up for the people of the community. The residents are blessed beyond measure to have had you take a stand. As a resident of the community, I believe we will stand with you, hopefully getting a full investigation audit in the city of Elmore. Thank you, Jane Doe.
Wow.
You see?
Burn your house
amazing.
down with you in it is crazy. That's a threat of great bodily harm.
So I'm just curious. I wonder if the kratom that he takes, and goes and buys 4 times.
The kratom, yeah. Well,
I wonder if it makes him
Man, Rob, you're gonna get me fired up, bro.
I wonder if it makes him that way to.
It has opioid effects, and I don't know if the city council of Elmore know that y'all chief was. Well, it don't matter now because his ass ain't there. But he'd go 10-8 and he'd be gone. I never see him the whole day.
Yeah.
The whole shift. I'd be there by myself.
But
and he'd get mad at me Because I go walk to school and talk to the kids and all that stuff. He said, when I'm out of town, you need to be seen.
You're making them look bad, man.
Yeah.
Bro, I ain't doing nothing
Yeah.
but writing tickets anyway.
You shouldn't have
I'm
done
going to
that.
her
You're
chilling with the
making them
kids,
look
eating lunch with the kids.
You can't make them look bad or have they'll be intimidated.
Yeah, you're talking about you need to be seen. You need to be seen. You the one ain't here, jackass.
So just like that message, I have gotten messages from all over the country talking about how they've been done wrong, they've been in a similar situation, they've been accused by either a person or law enforcement of something they didn't do, and they weren't able to continue the fight. And so I'm not fighting for myself only anymore. I mean, I'm
Right.
still, of course, fighting for myself, but I'm fighting for everybody that couldn't make it and couldn't continue. And so to circle back around of why I'm here is I'm doing it for other people and I'm doing it to expose the corruption. And a lot of people, I don't know if people have talked to you guys about this, but I've had some people say, oh, well, you must just not ever want to get back in law enforcement because you're telling it all, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you would be the very one that would complain if we didn't say something while we were there and then we're just one of the bad guys in a uniform,
Right.
but now you're complaining because we are saying something.
Yeah.
And if I can't talk about the wrongdoing that's going on inside a department, then I don't want to be at that department.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't. I've recently asked social media. I'm trying to find a reserve position so I can keep my certification up, because in Mississippi, I think it's 2 or 3 years. If you're out, you have to go through a refresher, which is like a week or 2 weeks long. Just 8 to 5 type class, and then if you're out for 5 years, you actually have to go back through the entire academy.
Really?
Yeah,
That's gross.
yeah. So I've already been through a basic police academy, and then I've been through patrol school for the highway patrol to be a state
Right.
trooper, right? So I do not want to go back through any type of academy. I'm too old, and
You ain't that old.
I do not. I just don't want to do it and be away from my kids and all
Right.
that. And so I'm trying to be reserved somewhere. And a lot of people were like, well, you have too much baggage. I'm like, where's my baggage at? Like,
Man,
and
you
then he
just-
says, oh, well, your social media. I'm like, what's the difference between me talking on social media and being very public and vocal versus the commissioner of public safety who is using his social media to basically campaign? And you have all these other sheriffs. Jude, is that Jude?
Oh, yeah.
In Florida?
Great Judy or
Grady,
something.
yeah,
Oh,
Grady
that dude
Judd
is- yeah,
or
that
something
dude
like
is
that. Yeah.
I personally like him.
Yeah.
I like
no, I
him.
do too.
I like him.
I got your gold
Yeah.
chain on me right now. 2 of my deputies have been arrested. He ain't playing.
No.
I like that dude.
But I like him too, but does anybody say he has baggage? No, they don't.
Right.
And that's really a big issue.
You just spoke up, man. and
with
people don't like to be told
speaking
about
up,
themselves.
but also
Grady Judd is what it's
Grady,
called.
yeah.
Yeah.
But also we can go, I hate to bring up the female male type thing, but being a female in law enforcement, you're looked at completely different than a male.
Oh, yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I've even had men say, well, you shouldn't have been a trooper in the first place. You can't handle yourself. Just like you said earlier before we got on here, you're like, how tall are you? So in boots, which I would wear boots for being a state trooper,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
about
tall.
6'1", maybe 6'2", depending on the fresh boot or if I've
Yeah.
been walking around for a little bit and kind of understand. But yeah, that's basically what I've been doing 2 years, is trying to change people's perspective and now expose corruption. I see you guys are doing the same thing. So
Yeah, for
are you
sure.
going to continue to do that, or it's just this one time and done?
Man, it just depends on the situation. Like, I don't bother nobody. I don't go out my way to bother nobody. But if you bother me, I'm going to bother you worse.
And that's kind of how I
promise.
am. I mean,
I-
I am.
I'm going to take it there.
It's not my job to expose you,
Mm-hmm.
but when you do me wrong, I think that it needs to be exposed of what type of person and department that is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't go around looking for issues with every department,
Right.
And, trying to put it in the spotlight, because that's not my job.
Right.
I'm not the judge and jury. At some point it'll come to the light, but when I'm in the middle of it and I'm affected by it,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it needs to be spoken about. It needs to be known.
Now, would you speak up for others?
Of course.
Like if you
Yeah.
saw something that was done wrong and they tried to say something, would you actually comment on their social
Oh
media?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not a political guy, and that's why chief positions are not for me, because I'm not a politician.
Yeah.
At one point, I was a very hot-headed guy. This situation that happened with me at Elmore City,
Yeah.
if this was over a year ago, I probably would have exploded. And that's probably what they were expecting me to do in that meeting, was explode.
I heard that meeting. That was so jacked up, bro. I wanted to fight for you in that meeting.
And they were probably expecting me to explode, but I'm way past that. I mean, I'm in church now. Back then I wasn't in church every Sunday. I wasn't a deacon back then, so
I need to go to church with you.
I'm not fully saved how I was back then, but now I'm like, I'll get it in return. I mean,
you had him stressed out.
Yeah, I mean, because in that meeting when I was terminated, I mean, I put some stuff out there that had the mayor like, oh, I don't think this was a good idea.
Well, explain.
So, I mean, I'll just explain my termination.
Okay.
So I started back out at Elmore as a reserve. I didn't get paid. I came out there to help the previous chief and a buddy of mine. I was a fire chief, so I wasn't trying to come out there full time. So I went out there to help, assist, because they needed some extra guys. They were shorthanded. I was certified, so I was like, I don't mind coming out here a couple of days a week helping out. In the midst of all that, some stuff happened. They ended up leaving. And you need a chief to run a department. So the mayor asked me to step up. Because Trevor was there before me, so we were both there. I said, hey, do you want to be in? Oh, nope, I don't know nothing about it. I don't know. And I have leadership experience. So I said, well, if you don't want it, then, I'll be interim chief so our department can continue to run.
Right.
It was just me and him. That was it, just me and him. So I ended up leaving the fire department, going down to help Elmore City. And that's where I was. I mean, I would be there. I mean, there's days where me and Trevor wouldn't leave till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, to make sure the town is covered. He lived there in town, so he was close. Me, I lived over an hour and a half away. So I made the drive every day. I was dedicated. I did what I was supposed to do. And then it was at some point, it had to go on the agenda to become a chief. So they pulled me in, and they were like, we want to make you chief, but it's the distance where you live. Are you willing to move here to Elmore City? I said, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I said, we just got a house. I'm not moving my family out here, Methville, and get our house stolen.
It's like 800 people, 576
I was like,
of
it's
them
not
on that.
happening. So I wasn't moving my family there. So I said, why don't you guys make Trevor the chief? And I'll be more than happy to stay around, get him trained, and I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Or back down to reserve status. I don't want any of this. So they were like, I think we can do that, but you have to be willing to stay around and help them. Because they knew my experience, they knew the background I had. So they said, if you stay and help, and you be his number 2, we'll consider that. So I was done an executive session, because it was during a city council meeting. I walked out, they called him in. They talked to him. I guess they ended up saying, okay, yeah, he's going to be the new chief. So he became the chief. Everything started then. I told him, I said, hey, I'm here so I can help you out, whatever you need to do. All you got to do is show up.
Right.
I said that to him. All you got to do is show up, let me train you, teach you the ropes, because I am leaving.
Right.
I mean, this is an hour and a half away from home. I'm leaving. So, and granted, they gave me a take home. They paid me okay. So, I wasn't complaining about making the drive every day. It wasn't my gas. They paid me well. I was able to pay my bills. And then it got to the point to where he was never there. He would be, 10-6, or he would be busy.
Buying a cradle.
He would never be there.
For real?
He would, when I first started out, me and him together, he would go and work security jobs and say, oh, I got the security job, I'm going to work. You going to be here? Yeah, I'll be here. So it got to the point to where you were never there for me to train you.
Right.
So a lot of people thought I was the actual police chief, because I have that relationship with everybody. If you ask anybody, they'll tell you, Robert's a great guy.
So
Oh,
where
yeah.
did this guy come from?
So
I
I
don't know.
guess he used to work in Elmore City years ago. And then I guess he left, came back. So I guess he lives in Elmore. Well, he lives in another small town outside of Elmore, but basically lives in Elmore. So, I mean, he lives not even 5 minutes away. So I don't know how he ended up back. I didn't dig into it. So it got to the point to where, I mean, I started doing everything. I started getting drug busts. I was getting on the news, you know, all kind of stuff.
He said that was against policy too, that you was on the news when you got all that weed.
Yeah, okay. So, you
Really?
know.
I swear to God.
Yeah, so I mean, it was I was getting publicity and I was getting a pat on the back. I was getting, man, good job, and he wasn't getting any of that. When the ladies in the office, when they need something, they would call me because they call him. He wouldn't be there, and they know. Oh, well, we know Robert's here in town, you know.
Right.
So let me
Same thing
call-
with store
So
owner.
let's call him. So it got to the point to where he knew some stuff was going on, and he was like, okay, yeah, you're getting the spotlight. But he never said anything. And then it got to the point to where I started noticing that he was stealing time because we were paid hourly, and I was in charge of payroll. And, I mean, I'm like, this guy wasn't here no 9 hours today.
Yeah.
This guy wasn't here 12 hours this day. And I started noticing it, and then I didn't say anything at first. I turned in time, then I noticed it again. And I was like, this guy was working security this day. He wasn't here.
Yeah.
And so I said, I got to say something because I'm in charge of payroll.
Right. You don't want your name on
Right.
it. Yeah.
You know,
That's all
I have to
bad.
say something. So I went and said something. They said, oh, yeah, we noticed, you know. But the ladies in the office are like, we're scared to lose our job. You know, we don't want to get fired. We don't want to say nothing. The mayor's aware of it. One of the other board members is aware of it. And I was like, okay. So I continued to do my job. Whenever I noticed discrepancies in time, I would go and say something because I want it to be known that I told you guys that
Right.
he is embezzling money, that he's committing a
Right.
crime. Noticing that he was never there. Noticing that he drove a patrol car to Tulsa to do a security job that had nothing to do with the police department. One of the board members found out about that. They gave him a slap on the wrist. So that's violating policy there. You know,
Yeah.
you can't drive your patrol car to a security job out of Elmore City and, you know, use it to make funds. I mean, unless the mayor or somebody approves it, then
Right.
that's on them.
Right.
But, you know, they found out all this stuff was going on, and me covering, you know, my behind, I wouldn't let them know, hey, this is what's going on. You know, I'm here Monday through Friday, and these guys, he's supposed to be here, and he's not even doing his job. You know, I brought up the fact that how many, you know, traffic stops I make, how much money I'm bringing into the town, all these investigations that I'm doing, all these cases that I'm doing, and they're getting prosecuted. You know, he's got cases where he submit them and they get kicked out. You know, well, you're the chief of police, man. You should be getting everything approved.
Right.
You know, what kind of sense does that make?
You got no respect from nobody.
So when it got to that point, I think he's like, okay, we got to do something to get this guy out of here. And one day I was in animal control school because I was the deputy chief, and then I took on the task of animal control. So I took on I was in animal control school, and I had texted him because I took on a case with a guy out there. That's another story. I had to add something to my report that the DA wanted. So I text Trevor. I said, hey, I'm in school. I'm not down there. You know, can you go and fix this and then submit it for me? He didn't responded back. So it was on lunch break, and I said, hey, I'm just headed down there. I'll get it done. So by the time I get to Elmore City, he's like, hey, man, sorry. You know, I didn't have my phone with me, but I'll come in, and if you finish it, I'll submit it for you. I said, okay, cool. I said,
Liar.
well, it's submitted. I said, well, I fixed it. I put it in your box. If you can just go drop it off for me at the DA's office, that'd be great. And so he said, are you still in town? I said, I'm grabbing gas, you know, filling up. He said, okay, well, wait for him coming to the PD so I can talk to you. I said, all right, cool. I'm like, well, you must be in Paul's Valley somewhere because,
He did the same thing to me.
I mean, I said, you must be in Paul's Valley somewhere because it didn't take, you know, 30 minutes to get somewhere. I said, dude, I got to go.
Yeah.
So I'm headed. I'm
man.
in
So wait,
another
he
town.
asked you to come back to the police department?
Yeah, so I
And
was
then
at,
he wasn't there?
I was at the fuel tanks getting
Okay.
gas, and he said, hey, meet me at the PD. I'll come back. I need to chat with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting. I waited like 10 minutes. Elmore City's not small.
Did the same thing.
You know, so I waited
Same
and I was
thing.
like, dude, I got to go back to class. I mean, the drive is 30-minute plus.
Right.
So I texted him. I said, hey, man, I got to go to class. Just holler at me when you can. I'm thinking we can have a phone conversation.
Right.
He said, like, where are you at? I said, oh, I'm passing Maysville. And he said, well, turn around and meet me at the mayor's office. When he said that, I knew what was happening because whenever we terminate somebody,
Right.
we go to the mayor's. She has a little grooming shop in town.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we tell him, okay, we're going to go to the mayor's shop, you know, and have a meeting. So when he said that, I said, should I have my fiance meet me, come and pick me up?
Right.
He said that may be a good idea.
Oh, yeah.
So I called Brandon. He's a board member. I said, hey, man, I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting ready to get fired. He said, what? I said, yeah, Trevor's wanting me to meet him at the mayor's grooming shop. I just want you to come be a witness. What's funny is that a week prior, I text Rhonda. She's another board member. I told her, I said, I'm going to get fired. And she was like, what are you talking about? I said, I'm going to be fired. I said, all this stuff that's going on, I'm filing these complaints against the chief of police. I said, I'll be fired. She said, no, just don't worry about it. I haven't heard anything. And she's the vice mayor.
Oh,
so you
yeah.
would think
No, she ain't helping you, bro.
if something's going to happen, the vice mayor out of all people should know about it.
Yeah.
You know, so she's like, no, you're not. I told Brandon. I said, I stopped by his house and talked to him all the time. I said, dude, I'm going to get shit canned. He's like, no. He said, man, I don't think so, you know. But, again, it's Elmore City. Who knows? You know, so I just rolled the punches. And sure enough, he meets me at the grooming shop, and we go in there, start our meeting. I walk in. Trevor hands me this letter that says, you know, you are officially terminated or something. This is your notice of termination is what he said. And I read it. I said, failure to follow policy and procedure. And I asked him, I said, what policy did I fail to follow? Well, you know, your complaints, you know, you went right above me and you went to the mayor and to the board members. I said, so I'm supposed to go to you,
Yeah.
even though the complaint's about you?
What's the
Yeah.
point of having HR if
And
Yeah.
he's like, well, that you know, that's policy. And I said, well, with me being the deputy chief, that doesn't make sense. And then
Yeah.
he comes and say, oh, well, no, you were never deputy chief. That position was never a thing here. And
That's a
in
lie.
the department. I was like,
that's a lie?
I said, are you serious right now?
Yeah.
I said, my badge, my uniforms, everything says deputy chief. My business card you guys
Door
had
tag
made
on
for
your
me,
door.
my door tag. I mean, everything says deputy chief. I said, so now that you're terminating me, I was never deputy chief. It was never a thing. I said, that's fine. Title doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I said, but what really matters is this is a retaliation. This is a wrongful termination right here.
Yeah.
No. And then that's when the mayor was like, no, I don't think so.
See, they don't like
Yeah.
those
No,
those
yeah.
words.
And so I was like, yeah, it is. I said, do you guys understand what's happening here? I said, I'm bringing all this stuff to light. I filed a complaint against my chief of police for all the stuff that he's doing that's wrong and illegal, and I get fired. I said, I just told Brandon this over a week ago. I said, Brandon, did I not? He said, yeah, you sure did.
Yeah.
You told me you're going to get fired. And I mean, he was brutally honest. He said, yeah, you told me you're going to get fired. And I said, I told Rhonda the same thing. And so I went and cleared out my office. And this goes to show you how much I had over everything. I was over every single system in the department. Emails, body cams, Otis, GeoSafe. I mean, to be the chief of police, you would think that you're the admin of all this stuff.
Right.
So when he terminated me, I locked him out of everything. I mean, he was not able to go in there and email anybody from a department email because, for one, I'm the one who created the email.
Right.
It wasn't a city given email. It was an email that I created when I came on as interim chief. And when he came on as chief, I just added him to it and let him continue to go with it. I was the admin of every flipping thing. So when he did me dirty, I said, I'm not going to get upset. I know how to get you.
He wanted to
Yeah.
press charges on you for that.
So, yeah, you can't press charges against me. I said,
He did.
I didn't do nothing illegal. I just
Yeah.
locked you out of everything
Yeah.
because what I did was I locked him out of everything, and I deleted myself off of admin.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm not on anything. So I mean, you can't go in there and say, well, he took me off everything, but he's still on it. Nope. I
Yeah.
deleted you and blocked you on everything, and I'm taking off. So I can't even go in and add you and delete myself and let
Yeah.
you delete me if I
So
want
basically, just a nightmare.
Oh yeah, because I'm standing in the
yeah.
parking lot waiting for my fiance to come pick me up, and I'm getting notifications from Gmail. This password has been changed. I said, bullshit. This password is now being changed again, and
Yeah.
you're off. So
Yeah,
he was. I mean, he was pissed.
He's
Yeah.
a chicken shit.
Yeah.
Like he did the same thing with me.
yeah. So that's how that happened with my situation.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did the same thing. Can you meet me at the department? Bro, I set up in 45 minutes. I said, man, I got cleat. I got to go. Okay, cool. Like, damn, I said, is everything good? Yeah. Text him, And then,
So obviously, you guys see that there's corruption of different types in
Yeah.
law enforcement. Is there anything other than, like, say, for instance, do you think how we're trained as law enforcement officers, do you think there needs to be some updates? You think we need to change how we do the academies? Like, what is your intake? And what is your academy like here in Oklahoma? And then I'll talk about how it is
26
in
weeks?
Mississippi.
So it all depends on if you're going through full time or reserve. But what I will say is that we have a pretty good police academy. They train you well. It's up to you to use those skills and put them to good use. But what they teach you is textbooks.
So what is the academy like for basic, I'm assuming?
It's a basic.
Okay.
course,
What
yeah.
is it? I mean, is it 10 weeks, 12
I think it's
weeks?
26 weeks, ain't it? I've been going 7 months. But I'll be done in 7 months. But
Yeah,
I'm doing-
mine-
But you're
mine's
doing
was-
reserve,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm doing
mine
3
was
days a
like
week.
6 months.
Yeah, that's a long time.
For a basic. So is it like 8 to 5 type thing?
I went 8 to 5 Monday through Friday.
So it's not any running, PT.
Oh
and,
yeah, it's,
yeah.
Oh no, it's PT every day.
OHP is like that too, ain't they? Ain't they like 26 weeks?
I don't know about OHP.
They're longer, I think, and they're
but
mean.
yeah, I mean it's. I mean you PT, they run you. I mean,
But it's
active
only
shoot of
8 to
training.
5.
Yeah,
You don't stay overnight.
no,
Okay. So in
that's not
Mississippi.
state troopers.
Well, no, even in Mississippi, our basic, you stay overnight.
Well, the full time guys, like if you're on a department, like I know Duncan, they make their guys stay overnight. They got to stay away. They're allowed to come home on weekends if they have good behavior.
Yeah,
and stuff
so
like
if
that.
you go to the full time academy at Cleat here in Oklahoma, then you stay on campus.
And that's
at
for a basic
That's
police
for
academy.
basic. It's
Okay, so
regular
that's
police
full
academy,
time.
Cleat. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got you. And so how many weeks is that?
OHP, I think it's 26.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure.
They're pretty close.
But
they
that
used to
one's
not be that
for
long.
what?
They used to be 18.
Ohio?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma
Oklahoma Highway Patrol. Used to be 18 weeks.
Yeah.
Then they
So
I'm not sure.
extended
Oklahoma
it.
Highway Patrol. And that's 26 weeks, you said?
Yeah, I think it's 26
Okay,
weeks.
so what is the basic, though?
I think it's pretty close to that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just two different.
So and I see are you looking it up, Rob?
Yeah.
Okay. So in Mississippi we have a basic, and it started out. Well, I don't want to say what it started out with, but whenever I went, it was 10 weeks, and it was
That's
it was
easy.
Sunday through Friday, or it might have been Sunday through Thursday, but it was only 10 weeks, but you stayed overnight, and then patrol school was for me it was 19 weeks, but we went Sunday through Friday,
Yeah.
and so now they can go anywhere from like 12 weeks to 20 something weeks. It just depends on what they're planning on doing. But you do stay overnight. And, of course, I have to say that the Mississippi Highway Patrol is it's supposed to be.
It's 4 months.
Y'all got a
Like-
YouTube channel. I know y'all.
Yeah,
been
it's
getting down.
supposed to be like the worst patrol
It's
school.
one of them, yeah.
in the country.
It's 4
Arkansas.
months.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. I got two questions.
Okay. And you forgot it.
I did. No, I got one of them for sure.
Okay, go
no, I got it. Graduated at the top of your class. Does that mean anything on the streets?
No, absolutely
no.
no. Nobody
Didn't I say that,
knows.
I'm gonna get to my point in a minute.
All right.
And all the requirements that we have to go to become officers, and MMPI tests, and all these psychological, just everything we have to go through, and officers still turn out like shit.
Yeah.
Like, I think a regular Joe off the street can come and do the same job without all going through all that. Because that obviously means nothing when you give an officer all these tests and they go out there and rape somebody.
Yeah.
Or they go out there and violate somebody's rights, or like.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's kind of what I was getting at is with, like, do we think maybe the academies should be changed. Should it be across the board in the United States, the same type of academy? That way you don't have to do like lateral transfers. You don't have to recertify when you go to a different state. Maybe do like a refresher for those statutes, but and then of course that department's policies, procedures. But other than that, should a police academy not be the same across the board?
I don't know.
That way we can go to different.
We got into a pissing match with this dude's wife the other day. He works at Elmore, and she's like, "Well, he graduated at the top of his class. That don't mean shit. He don't even wear a vest when he on patrol.
Yeah,
he'll sit and duck. But he kind of, and I don't got nothing against him, but he got to get rid of that G.I. Joe mentality because it's gonna get him killed.
All right, what do you mean?
He's 6'8".
Okay.
And I remember walking in the office one day. He's like, "Oh yeah, tasers are for little guys." Okay. When you land on the ground, agonal breathing because somebody put some iron in your chest. That 6'8" ain't gonna mean nothing. Either you can take this advice and vest up and say, "Man, dang, I'm glad I did that. That dude was right," or somebody gonna be looking over you in your casket saying, "Damn, he was right." Which one do you want to?
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you know how I was telling you earlier that a lot of men on my social media, I don't want to say a lot, but there's a few of them that will say, "Oh, well, you don't need to be in law enforcement anyway. You're a female." Again, I'm 6 feet tall, and then with boots on, I'm a little bit taller, right? I've been through one of the toughest academies, if I can say so myself, in the United States, and I made it, and it was living hell, and I don't want to do it again, but I did it, and it trained me a lot. But the main thing was it trained me to be mentally strong and know that I can take it. And instructor or attack officer said, if you can look up, you can get up. Mm-hmm. And we were doing push-ups and stuff like that. And at the time, I thought it meant doing push-ups, right? If you can
look up, you can get up.
Yeah, like you can continue to do some more push-ups. But now, of course, I realize that he was training us, preparing us for, fights, other situations, life circumstances. Yeah. If you can look up, you can get up, right? So I was mentally trained, but also I think communication skills is a major factor. And I had a professor one time tell me, it's easier to talk somebody into the backseat than it is to fight them.
Right.
And so women are usually they're usually better at communication than men. And
yeah, because you don't got that ego.
Yeah, and we don't have egos. Or not always.
Get your ass back
there, right.
Now, boy.
So I have come to realize that I have been able to get a lot of situations that could be very scary, and if it was somebody else dealing with it, I've been able to get those situations under control just because I didn't let my ego get to me. And I just was calm and collective, and I was able to talk to them and talk.
Right. You got brains.
So, and that's what I'm
like
trying to get at with the patrol school, basic, whatever it is. I understand militaristic type environment, but are we not at a time where maybe we can alter that a little bit? Have the best of the best that we recruit, that we already know that they're squared away. Yeah. We already know that their demeanor and their appearance is what we're looking for. They've already been in law enforcement for X amount of years, or even in another field, that they're still that type of person we're looking for. Very,
right.
Can communicate very well, is presentable, is some obvious leader. Okay, why can't we recruit those type people? And then instead of this academy, and I know I'm like forward thinking here, and I know a lot of people on social media are gonna be like, "Oh, I hate you now," and I'm gonna unfollow you because I'm just thinking outside the box. But with a time right now where we have less and less recruits, nobody wants to get into law enforcement.
Right now.
Maybe we should start thinking about different ways to get people, because me being 37 now, I have 4 kids. They're older. I'm divorced. It would be very difficult. Like if I wasn't already certified,
right.
I don't think I could go do it.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I agree.
So unless you're getting people that are 18, 19, which in law enforcement you can't even be an officer until you're 21 anyway.
It's not smart to be.
So how are you going to get these kids if you don't get them right at 21? How it's going to get harder and harder to get people.
I wasn't mature enough at 21 to do this. I would have.
No, but you're going through a reserve academy.
Career up.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to do full time. When I turned 21, I was gung ho.
Okay. Why are you doing reserve versus full time right now?
Because I don't want to be dedicated to no department. I got a real good paying job.
Okay. See.
So, and I want to do the private security sector. So if I want to have time to do that, I don't want to be obligated to a department to where as a reserve I can go in and go and leave when I please.
But you're a good officer, and that's what I'm getting at is you don't want to have to go through that full time academy because you've got a good job.
Yeah.
You know, you've got kids.
Yeah, police ain't gonna pay me like that.
It's would be too difficult for you to go do a full time thing.
But,
so
now if they paid me,
you
know what I make now. I don't even know if I still do it just because I'm experiencing the politics of this mess.
Yeah, and so young like, too because you just got into it.
Yeah, and I'm just like, man, you know what? I'll just keep my regular job and just go when I feel like it. I don't have to answer to nobody.
Ever think about things like that? Think outside the box of how officers are trained, and maybe that's where a lot of the disgruntled citizens are basically because they see the officers who violate their civil rights, who their ego is, elevated.
Right.
And now if you don't do what they say do, even though you're not doing anything wrong, they're going to put a POP on you, pissed off police, right?
Man.
So maybe we can figure something out to kind of bridge that gap between law enforcement and citizens. And here's the other issue that a lot of people don't talk about. Why is it an us versus them mentality? Why are we taught, I don't know about you guys, but in Mississippi we're taught a us versus them mentality and they have a whole analogy.
Because of bad cops. Bad cops screw people over, and the society don't like it, so they label us all. Only one bad apple will jack up the whole tree.
But I'm talking about we're at the academy, and they're teaching us you've got the wolf, who's the bad guy, right? Mm-hmm. You've got the law enforcement who are the sheepdog, and then you got the citizens who are the sheep, right?
Right.
So it's like an us versus them mentality, which we're separate from them somehow.
We shouldn't be.
Yeah, we shouldn't be.
We should be there to help and serve them. That's how I treat law enforcement.
Right.
I treat everybody the same. I don't talk crazy to people. I don't care what you did. I'm going to treat you like a human. Might not like you, but I'm going to be professional, and I'm going to do things the right way.
Right.
And that's part of the problem on why the citizens in law enforcement are so spread out and not respected, because people see that. People see the divide. And if you ask anybody about me, citizens of any department that I work for, anybody, if you look at my Facebook page, you wouldn't even know I'm a cop unless you've seen the pictures, because I don't talk about law enforcement.
Right.
I don't post links about law enforcement. I don't share ICE videos. I don't do it on my Facebook. I may make a comment about Jesus, here's another one, but I'm not going to be like, I shot another one. I'm not just, I just don't talk about law enforcement. I talk about funeral services more than anything else.
That is true.
But, and it's not that I don't like being a cop, but nowadays cops are looked so bad upon. I don't want my family targeted.
Right.
And the people that know me, they love me. You can go to Elmore City right now and ask them about Robert Davis. And
they want us to come back.
Yeah.
They were livid.
Nah, hell no.
They were livid when they found out I was gone. Yeah. But that's any department. Any department that I work for, you can ask the chief. Even Trevor, when the department that I work with now, when the chief at the time called him, he said, I'll hire Robert back right now.
Yeah.
And Trevor know that I can't stand him.
He's scared of you.
But he told that chief, he said, Robert, I got to be honest with you. He said, I called Trevor, and he said that he would hire you back right now if he could.
He told my God, I was rehireable until I was getting ready to drop this podcast.
Yeah. So, it's just, it's all about the way you treat people. And I guess I don't have that law enforcement mentality because I'm not gun-ho. I'm not.
But how long have you been
I've been in over 11 years.
Okay.
I
think you can also tell when somebody's new and when somebody's not, and you are different. Obviously you love what you do.
I do,
and because he would send me pictures. He's like, "Oh, this is a great job." I'm like, "Yeah, it is. It is pretty fun."
She said, "Wait a minute,"
but
just wait.
He's seen and when he keeps saying that I taught him, he's seen the background of me of the proper training that you're supposed to have.
Right.
I could be getting ready to arrest somebody, but I'm the nicest person, the nicest cop to them.
Right.
You have no idea.
And they're like, man, I get them in the car and it's gospel music playing. Hey, can you turn that up for me?
Yeah.
The nicest people, because, dude, I'm just doing my job. I'm not
never
doing this
seen
because
him
I don't
yell.
like you. But I mean, then there's
anybody.
those times where you have to be tough, but
Yeah.
he's got the proper training to know
When that time is.
When
yeah.
that time is, you have to let them know. Okay, this is my scene. You're under arrest, but we're still going to laugh and have fun while you're
Right.
under arrest
And hug people.
You know, and I don't hug people.
Yeah, I don't
you know,
hug.
that's a different story. But you know,
Oh.
You have to have that relationship with people because I mean, there's people that I've arrested that sent me letters, you
Yeah.
know, thanking me. You know, I've written people citations and they've sent me Skittles and letters and stuff in the mail, you know, thanking
Yeah.
them, you know, because I'm that such a nice of a person. I know what I do when I'm not here being a cop.
Right.
I don't make a complete stop at every stop sign, so I'm not getting ready to
Yeah.
sit here and give you a flipping ticket
I don't
for not
write-
making a
I don't
complete
write
stop at a
seatbelt
stop
tickets.
Yep.
sign.
So I actually have a question. What do you guys think of different laws pertaining to like traffic citations or just criminal type laws? Do you think they were designed to hurt people or help people?
I wouldn't say hurt people. I would say more so along to help the town or whatever. It's revenue as far as traffic and stuff goes.
I wouldn't say revenue. I mean, it's because most towns have the law. It's a state statute. So I mean, I would say it's. I mean, it's the law. It's the rules. You have to abide
All right,
by.
well,
them.
I guess it's up to the-
I don't think it's to hurt the person.
All right,
guess
well, I'm
it's
going to
up
cut
to
you
the
guys off
officer
right
for-
there. Okay, this is going to be for the next episode, and just
Okay.
think about what you're going to talk about. But basically, is it there to hurt or help? All right.
Hurt or
All
help.
right.
All
We'll
right.
see y'all next time.